So now we are ready to determine our working capital section. So we already have it set up for us here. We have the base case for the account receivable, inventory, and accounts payable. So we have, on average, the total number of days we believe that this company will collect its sales from its debtors. I also know that we also have an assumption for the accounts payable days that we believe that this company will be able to pay its current liabilities to its creditors. So we have it set up there. We also have the inventory number of days. The base is the best case and the worst case scenario. We have it set up there, which tells us the total number of days on average that we believe that this company will sell its inventory. So we have all of this set up in our input section. So we're going to be using this to drive our our working capital going forward. So in order to do that, we can scroll to see what we have. We have it set for us from the year 2023 to 2027. So we can go back and we can reference that year. So in order to do that, 2023 is going to be equal to, you can go to our working capital drivers in our input section. We have the account receivable set up for us there. In this case, we'll reference the base case there. We just make sure we're referencing the right cell. So we go back. We reference that base case in the year 2023. And for the inventory, we're going to do the same thing. We reference the very base case, and for the account payable, we reference that year. So we can now take this and fill it right with Control R. So we have it set up there for us. Now, to be able to determine the historic period, on average, what we believe this company might have on average to collect its sales from its customers, and also how long it's going to take them to sell their inventory. Also, how long this company will take on average to pay its creditors. We can just determine it using our historic balances from the balance sheet. So we have it set up here. We recall in this model, we are not having any balance sheet after the transaction closing date, or before the transaction closing date, or even after. We are not setting up any balance sheet in this model. Reason why is because it is just standard for leverage buyout models to include just the income statement and the cash flow statement and their robust debt schedules into the model, but we are not including any balance sheet in this case. But in case we want to do that, then we will have to set up a closing balance sheet to account for the transactions between the date which prior to the first year of forecast. So we will be having that time in between where this transaction took place to account for certain items which we will have to consolidate or perform a pro forma balance sheet for that. But in this model, we are not having that set. We are not setting up that closing balance sheet, or we are not setting up any balance sheet, historic or projected balance sheet as a result of this model. It's just practice. But in case we have to do that, then we will have to establish a closing balance sheet, and then we later on account for the adjustments that needed to be made before and after the transaction closes. So in this case, we will just reference to, we will just calculate our account receivable days, which is just whatever account receivable that this company had on its balance sheet, and then we divide that by the revenue in the period, reference that cell with F 2 times, and then we multiply by the days in the period, just like that. You can also reference that with F 2 times. You press enter. So if that is done right, we can now copy this, Alt ESF, and we paste as formulas. Hit F2 to see what is. So as you can see, we have it picking up the values there for us, except for the inventory, which is gonna be based on the cost of goods sold. And also, for the accounts payable, it's gonna be based on the cost of goods sold. So we believe that this company have payable terms on the cost of goods sold. But if we suppose that the company had payable terms on any other line item on the income statement, then we would have included that line item to calculate the number of days we believe this company will have to pay its creditors. So we can take this, copy, Alt ESF, paste as formulas.